think Celeste and Path of Pain are just different ways of stealing food at a picnic. With Celeste, the first few levels are like being given a full map of where everything is and being able to plan your optimal thieving route beforehand. Like this time, let me visit the sandwiches, yoink a watermelon slice, and then grab a juice box on the way out. So there's two distinct stages, there's the planning and then the execution. Whereas in Path of Pain, you're just told, alright buddy, have fun, and then you're left to go exploring, but because you don't know where anything is, you just look suspicious and stupid and keep getting busted. I mean, look at this. What am I supposed to prep for? So through sheer trial and error, eventually, you've just learned enough about the layout to know, okay, I'm supposed to go this way to get to the crackers. Every attempt you make is an opportunity to find something new, regroup, and revise the mission brief. Now, if you're anything like me, Celeste probably sounds more appealing right now. I mean, I like being able to plan ahead, and the way that the games handle movement definitely contributes to that. With Celeste, there's a lot of ways for you to just stop moving. Like if you need to dodge a random adult, just grab onto this wall for a little bit and wait for them to go away. The game even lets you look at the room while it's paused by holding tab, except you'd never find this out normally because the game doesn't tell you. But when you start moving in Hollow Knight, you physically can't stop unless you're standing on the ground. Instead, you kinda have to keep pogoing and wall jumping like an overactive child that's had one too many lemonades. They seem similar, but since part of you is still preoccupied timing your jumps or parries, you don't get that sense of relief you do with Celeste. I mean, it wouldn't be called Path of Pain if you weren't in a constant state of peril, right? I don't want to be flailing around like that, trying over and over until I eventually get it. I want to know that each attempt has a reasonable chance to succeed. Though at least the games are very precise when it comes to movement, so most of the time you've got no one else to blame but yourself. Most of the time. But if you've played Celeste before, you know that this isn't a truly fair comparison yet, because later levels in Celeste absolutely mess with your whole plan it out in advance idea. Like it starts with the fact that some rooms don't fully reveal themselves, and in earlier levels you'd typically get these binoculars to peek ahead, but they slowly start removing them. And if you thought you'd settled into a game that'd let you plan 100% in advance, suddenly you've got weird little guys, wind, and your evil doppelganger to deal with, and just like a real heist, things can go south very, very quickly. So in the middle of the game, Celeste suddenly feels like a slightly different operation than you were originally offered. You say, listen, I didn't come to this picnic expecting there to be bodyguards and Tempest-level winds and all that weird stuff. Can I just get a simple room again, like one that I can actually plan for? And the game says, sure. But first, run away from this crazy old man while you try to figure your way around the picnic site. But it makes sense. Celeste is a massive game that teaches you the basics from the ground up and consistently pushes you out of your comfort zone. Path of Pain, on the other hand, is very transparent about what it wants from the start. It's an optional area that's only accessible by a hidden passageway in an endgame location. It's like the devs told you, hey, we get it. You're an overachiever, so we've prepared a picnic just for you. You get a single, well-defined gameplay loop, except you shuffle everything around between each picnic. And even though you feel frustrated at the start, the game doesn't throw any curveballs at you, so there's not really any broken expectations. You're assumed to be a master at stealing from picnics. This is just the ultimate test. And yet, despite how many curveballs we get thrown, and how many times we have to try the heist again, we keep trying. Because trying again is so easy, and I think a lot of it has to do with the way that these games were designed. Neither game makes a huge deal out of your death. Both of them have super fast respawn animations, and, most importantly, they make lives practically irrelevant. Celeste doesn't use a live system at all. It just has a death counter, which doesn't even go up until you exit the level. And even though Path of Pain is only a small part of Hollow Knight, they have a special totem that gives unlimited soul that's only found in this section of the game. It's like the picnic organizers knew someone would try to steal their food and are cheering you on in their own little way. So once you do execute the perfect heist, it's super satisfying. You say, holy hell, did you see how many muffins I just stole? And the game says, nice work, you silly goose. Now do it again. They're quick to patch you up, give you a checkpoint to rest, and let you focus on the next room. So much so that they sometimes lock you out of the previous rooms entirely. And ultimately, these are great games. It's interesting how Path of Pain recontextualizes the things you've learned from Hollow Knight. All the time you spent learning immaculate spacing and expert timing to conquer bosses, you now use to navigate your way through this maze that looks and feels impossible. It's interesting how Celeste has optional side areas. It's like they're saying, hey, so real quick, I know you want to finish stealing that salami stick, but there's a strawberry over there. And a lot of people would say, okay, well, I just don't really feel like a strawberry right now. And the game just says, yeah, alright, I just thought I'd let you know. And you think, wow, that's actually really cool. I can just not do that. And both games have a lot of free DLC and some great world building as the cherry on top. Overall, I'd highly recommend both of them, especially if you can get them during Steam sales, because they're ridiculously cheap for the amount of gameplay you can get out of them. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and hey, if this video has just come out, I might still be on the path to farewell if you want to check that out.